from home through broadcast.
Okay.
אתם מדברים עברית? Not everyone though. Who speaks Hebrew here? So I'm very glad to see you. I would like to see all of you in Israel. Now I see the map here. Everything is written here. I see Lebanon and Syria and Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Egypt. Well, what about Israel? Has been written here. So, I came from Israel a few days ago to speak to our people here. I always thought that Israel belonged to all the Jews. And Israel is yours, not less than ours. We were lucky that we were born there and live there. But I hope the day will come and you will be able to join us there and to live there. I don't know, what is your age? How old are you?
14.
14. That is the top age here, or?
11 to 15.
11 to 15. So in Israel, boys of 15, or girls, they have only 3 years to go to the army. And everyone, as you know, in Israel serves in the army. And everyone understands that the Jews are having one tiny small country. You can see here around all those Arab countries. But there are more. There are 22 Arab countries on an area which is 12.5 million square kilometers. And there is one tiny, small Jewish state one small, and its size is 28,000 square kilometers. It's something very, very small. It's a small country, but it's a great country. But in Israel, you know, when you come to Israel, you don't need a guidebook. You know what's a guidebook when you travel. You don't need a guidebook in Israel. You have the Bible. You can take the Bible in your hand. I hope you know your Bible. I'm not going to check it. But let's hope that you do know your Bible. You know that in Israel, all the places kept their old names. Jerusalem. I mean, we have been using this name for 4,000 years. I mean, the Jews managed to capture Jerusalem, the city of David. It will be in 2 years' time, it will be 3,000 years since it became our capital. Hebron. You heard about Hebron and Maarat HaMachpelah, the patriarch cave. Jews have been living in Hebron for 4,000 years. It was called Hebron in the Bible. It's called Hebron now. Jerusalem in the Bible now. Jericho in the Bible, the same name now. The Jordan River is the same thing. Bethlehem, Shiloh, Bethel, all those places. Mount Tabor is Har Tabor, and Mount Gilboa is Har Gilboa. I don't know any other place in the world that keeps its names non-stop for thousands of years. And all that is yours. And you have to understand that that's yours. Because Hebron is not ours more than yours. But you have to know about it. You have to learn about it. You know, other nations, when they have a place, when they have a history of 100 years, let's say 100 years now, more than that, on the Civil War here. Everyone knows that. 200 years of the independence of the United States. Was that 200 years? You remember the celebrations? Anybody remember that a few years ago? In Israel, we do not have to celebrate 100 years. We don't have to celebrate 200 years. We can celebrate 3,000 years, 4,000 years. And no one got something like that. Any of you have been ever in Hebron? Have you been there? I think the children should be taken. Who is the headmaster in the school? I mean, I'm afraid a little bit of teachers, but myself, not. But I think the children had to be taken to Maarat HaMachpelah, to the cave of patriarchs. There is no other nation in the world that has such a monument. Who could have had a monument when you have Abraham and Sarah, when you have Yitzchak and Rivka, when you have Yaakov and Leah, all of them together? 4,000 years, almost it's about 3,800 years. It's something that every Jew should be proud of. When all the other people, and I would not like to underestimate others, when they were walking naked or with a piece of leather, we already had this, the temple in Jerusalem. The prophets were speaking, preaching there. So first of all, the Jews should be proud of being Jews. First of all, I'm a Jew, before anything else. For me, the most important thing is to be a Jew. And I'm very proud of being a Jew. The Jews contributed to the world it's very important to understand and to know that the Jews contributed to the world more than any other people in the world. The Bible, the prophet, let's say, the moral values. Even in modern time, you will take the number of people that got Nobel Prize in science, medicine, literature. I would say, I think Jews are about half of the number. And how many Jews are altogether in the world? Do you know how many Jews are in the world? Do you have any idea about that?
Less than 1%.
No, but how many Jews in numbers?
Oh,
20-some million.
12.
15.
Okay, Jews before the war, the Second World War, before the Holocaust, there were 18 million Jews. 6 million Jews were exterminated by the Germans and their collaborators. And 12 million Jews stayed. Now the number of Jews, though 50 years passed since the end of the war, is still not more than somewhere between 12 to 13 million Jews. Not more than that. Because the Jewish people are losing every year thousands and thousands as a result of intermarriages. And they are losing. You know, that was a physical Holocaust in Europe, but that is spiritual Holocaust all around the world. So if I can tell you what I think you should do, first of all, you have to be Jews, to stick to Judaism, to learn the history of your people, to learn the Bible, to learn Hebrew, to learn the history of the land of Israel, old history, modern history, to be proud of being Jews. Second, you have to go to Israel, or permanently, or for a visit, or to study there, or for summer camp, but you have to go to Israel. It's very, very important. In order to stick to Judaism, as a Jew, I think that every one of us should feel responsibility for the fact that generation and generation of Jews sacrificed their life in order to stay Jews. So it's our responsibility to these people who are our fathers and grandfathers and great-grandfathers, so on, that sacrificed their life, that we will be able to live as Jews. So think about it. And we need you there. We'd like you to come there. Israel is a hard country, but it's a wonderful country. It's a very small country. I don't know if you know what are the distances. You know, it looks big now here, but it's a tiny, tiny small country. But you got everything there. You got high mountains with snow in the winter. You drive 2 hours. You are in the desert. You are in Jerusalem. You are in Jerusalem here, which is 2,400 or 2,700 feet above sea level. It takes you less than half an hour, and you are in the Dead Sea. Who knows how deep is the Dead Sea? I don't know if you know that the Dead Sea is below sea level. You know that the Dead Sea is 1,200 feet, 400 meters below sea level. That is the deepest place in the world. Less than half an hour. It takes you 1 hour to beautiful beaches on the Mediterranean. Here you got snow, and you are skiing. All that within, I would say, half a day of traveling. And all that is yours. And what I would like you to remember, that what we are doing there, we are only guarding this country for you. Because we are there already. And we are waiting for you, and come.
Question and answer, 5 minutes.
Before we start 8:30.
5 minutes.
Guys, any questions?
Get a little token.
Map. And keep it with you. And then we
Stay in the line. You can get the. Just come. Just take it. Take it.
A problem, because then the country will become smaller.
לא באו הרבה, לא באו הרבה, ולא ידעו לארגן את זה, לא ידעו לארגן את זה. תכבד אותו. ג'נרל גדול, הציל את עם ישראל, זה... הוא באמת הציל...
I just wanted to announce, somebody please, if you could move your car. It's a 4...
כל מי שצריך פה לשולחן.
בכבוד. נדליק את הנרות, נדליק את הנרות. אלן הדלקת נרות. אבל הדלקת נרות. אבל הדלקת נרות.
Leave over there.
לחיים בבית. אבל הם לא יודעים שום דבר, זה לא יכול להיות דבר כזה. צריך לשלוח, אני אהיה ללמד אותה.
ביגומן מדרם הדלקת נרות.
רבי. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start this evening. Since we're in the middle of Hanukkah, Rabbi Ben Chaim will light the candles on the menorah for tonight. Gentlemen, children, Rabbanim, we're going to start to sing Hatikva. We'll now sing Hatikva with the children. Kol ot v'penima fesh Yehudi homia ulfate mizrach kadima ayin letzion sofia לא עכשיו תקוותנו, התקווה שנות 2000, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון ירושלים, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון ירושלים. Rabbanim, ladies and gentlemen, we're very proud to have General Ariel Sharon with us here tonight. Today we celebrate the 4th night of Hanukkah, a festival whose story of over 2100 years ago is something we can see happening again today. The story, as we all know, is about the Syrian emperor Antiochus, who set out to destroy Judaism and the Jews. But there was a group of revolutionaries known as the Maccabees, led by Mattatyahu, who ousted the Syrian troops and regained control of the temple in Jerusalem. In the short time span of the 20th century in modern era, we have once again seen the Arab decree to destroy the Jews. But time and time again, brave soldiers have fought these modern-day Antiochuses, if we can call them, and brought victory to the Jewish people. From the miraculous rebirth of the State of Israel in 1948, to the regaining of Jerusalem in 1967, and the brave defense of Israel in the Yom Kippur War of 1973. Wars, all of which General Sharon has participated in throughout his long and illustrious military career. And now, today, Israel stands at a different crossroads altogether. It is a nation that clearly wants peace. Everybody in the nation and in the diaspora wants peace, because they have had enough of wars and enough of killing of the children, of the young soldiers. Although today's government in Israel has stretched out its hand to peace, with Jordan we've seen, with the Palestinian Arabs as we've seen, the question still remains in everyone's mind: what is the price of peace, and how real is this peace that we are searching for? If you look at some of the statistics, they show that maybe this peace is not so real. Since the handshake in Washington on September 13, 1993, over 100 Israeli citizens have been killed by terrorists, and that is many, many more than ever were killed before there was any peace at all. This is just one, and there are many issues regarding the current events in Israel, which we hope General Ariel Sharon will enlighten us on. Let me now introduce General Sharon. Ariel Sharon has been a hero in each of Israel's wars, the architect of Israel's campaign to destroy Arab terrorist bases in Lebanon, and one of the most daring and successful commanders in Israel's extraordinary military history. Today, he remains one of Israel's most visible and important political figures. He has always been a warrior, whether the enemy was the hostile Arab nations whose armies have threatened to destroy Israel time and time again, or it's been the terrorists who for 40 years have pursued an unrelenting policy of murder and assassination, or those politicians who do not share his passionate concern for Israel's future and frontiers. General Sharon is the son of parents who came from Russia in the wake of the revolution and civil war. His father, a stubborn individualist who fought a lifelong battle against the collectivism of the Moshav, taught his son the virtues of individualism and hard work. Though his mother trained to be a doctor, she found herself laboring on a collective farm and adapting to the harsh demands of the Yishuv. She was a woman of great courage, and she passed on this quality to her beloved son. Sharon joined the Haganah at age 14. Initiated as they were with a pistol and a Bible, he began his long career as a military man. Sharon was an experienced soldier and a natural leader well before the War of Independence in 1948. He was intimately knowledgeable of the dreadful consequences of battle. He was wounded seriously for the first time, and again later, but for the first time in the tragic Battle of Latrun. And Sharon was then appointed commander of the Unit 101, Israel's fledgling anti-terrorist force. The success of this unit, accompanied by controversies that continue to this day, took him to the highest level of command and is something that has made him known throughout the world. Ariel Sharon's dazzling career continues to this day. He is a powerful personality. He is a man of complexities and passions. He is a man of awesome courage and great compassion. He is a loving father. He is a general who commands both respect and love from his troops, a warrior, a farmer, a visionary, and a fierce pragmatist. The Meshadi community is proud that Ariel Sharon is here with us as our guest tonight, and it gives me great pleasure to invite him to say a few words to us.
Thank you, Mark, for what you've said. Rabbi Ben Chaim, the guest of honor of Bethel, Rabbi El Ghazi, Rabbi Reichman, Mr. Louis Ebrani, so many thanks for your effort to organize this beautiful evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I was very happy to be invited to come and talk to you. I know the history of your community. It's a wonderful thing to come and talk to people that we know that they are going back 2,600 years ago. And being Jews with all the problems that this community had, and you know that, of course, better than myself. You know, it's like jumping back to our forefathers when I see you. So thank you for having me here, Louis. Thank you. I came to you as a Jew to Jews. And first of all, I'm a Jew, before anything else. And being a Jew is important for me more than anything else. That's what bothers me. That's what interests me. Being a Jew. I'm first of all a Jew, then Israeli, and then all the others things. But first of all a Jew. I came to talk to you about the Jews, to tell you about what happens to us, the Jews in Israel, what are the hopes that we have, what are the dangers that we face. You know, the Jews are very strange people. Among them, people that would like to talk about the Palestinians. Jews like to talk about Palestinians. Jews like to talk about the Syrians. Jews like to talk about the Lebanese, about Jordanians. I like to talk to you about ourselves, about the Jews. And that is the only thing which is important, the only thing. For many years, I've been saying and repeating again and again that Israel is not an Israeli project. Israel is a Jewish project. I don't have to add that among the audience here, there are people that served in the Israeli army, people that came from Israel. Even Rabbi Ben Chaim, I had the privilege that he served under my command in the Yom Kippur War when we crossed the canal. No doubt ourselves living there, we have maybe more burden to carry upon our shoulders than you that you live here. But you are responsible to what's going on in Israel, not less than ourselves. Because what will happen to us will affect the life of the Jews all around the world. So most of you are very young. I don't think that you do know, or maybe you know, but you don't remember, what was the life of Jews around the world before having an independent state, independent Jewish state. It was an entirely different thing. And what will happen to us will affect you. What will happen to us, if something will happen to us, I can assure you, you will not be able to live as Jews. It's a different thing.